The question of MapleStory Classic's release date has been around since I have ever made any sort of content about MapleStory Classic, since they announced it basically. Everyone has been asking when MapleStory Classic will come out. And today we are going to be speculating the release date. I don't have a confirmation of the release date. I don't think anyone has a confirmation yet, but we have a really good idea of when MapleStory Classic will be coming out. And this idea of when it will come out will really surprise you. You might walk away from this video not even believing me, but I just thought I would get my thoughts out there because there's a pretty good chance of when MapleStory Classic will be coming out, and we'll go over it right now. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to tell you flat out that MapleStory Classic is probably going to be released in the next month. Whether it's in the next month in September or within the next 2 months, it will be in the next 2 months for sure at the very least. I might be completely wrong. Hopefully I'm not. But just given all the evidence and information that we have, it's very likely that it's going to come out in September actually. So you're probably wondering where I got all this information. There is a lot of sources pointing to Inkwell himself. And the dude was pretty much telling people when the game was going to come out. I don't have any instances or footage or anything myself. Whatever I have, I will be putting it up on the screen right now. And you can see these messages from Inkwell about the release date. But one of the biggest factors is the MapleFest. MapleFest was just recently announced, and it's going to be exactly 2 months from now on October 17th, where they're going to be doing a bunch of announcements. I think they're even announcing a MapleStory anime that they're going to be revealing there. There's going to be a live orchestra of MapleStory soundtracks and whatnot, you know, just what you would expect from a MapleFest, which I'm really surprised that they took this approach to MapleCon or MapleFest, but a video on that probably another time. Today we're talking about the release date, and so with this information, you're probably like, okay, what does this have to do with Classic World? Well, whenever they have a MapleFest or a MapleCon, they always like to give out these exclusive rewards, and they're going to be giving rewards to people who play MapleStory Classic. How is that possible? How can we get rewarded for MapleStory Classic when the game isn't even out yet? And that pretty much automatically implies that MapleStory Classic will be available either around October 17th or well before October 17th. And typically with something like this, when they're promising rewards at MapleFest, it's going to be out before MapleFest. I want to say it's very likely that it'll be out before MapleFest, because that's what kind of builds value for these tickets as well. And if that's not available by the time that you go to MapleFest or by the time that you even buy these tickets, it's probably not going to be a selling factor. A lot of people who play modern MapleStory will be looking at that reward as something they don't really care about. And this is a pretty expensive ticket. Just the general admission to go to MapleFest is $220, and to sell someone on that, whether they're a MapleStory shill or not, that definitely adds value with MapleStory Classic being out before they kind of promise these rewards. But I'm not going to write it off completely. It's definitely possible that they could be giving the rewards later on down the road once MapleStory Classic actually releases, since it is very easy for them to just register your ticket with the account or your Nexon account. So it's not completely out of the question. It is very possible that they do give it to us later, though I'm hoping that's not the case. And another reason why this is probably going to come out before October, or at least something that kind of pushes that idea, is that there isn't going to be any more tests after this. They're going to be releasing MapleStory Classic without Third Job, and so that kind of goes back to the first test that they had initially, because a lot of that stuff is already finalized while they work on Third Job, since a lot of people have been complaining about a lot of the classes, and it's very obvious that they need to rework those Third Job skills. Besides, I don't think they would release Orbis, Elnath, and Third Job right away. They'd probably do it as a patch or as a big expansion update, because that is a lot of content for MapleStory, and they're probably going to want to sit on it for a little bit and kind of get some more player feedback. I'm pretty sure they will release the citizenship and stuff like that. That will also be available immediately upon release. But even after the closed online test that just recently ended, they're probably gathering a lot of feedback and putting things together and kind of seeing where they need to go in the next following steps for MapleStory Classic. There was a weird video that also surfaced from Mumpkin. Shout out to Mumpkin. This guy is hilarious. His videos that he makes about MapleStory Classic are super concise, and the dude is just super dry. I think it adds a level of humor to a lot of his videos. So definitely check out Mumpkin, and shout out to Mumpkin for this information. But the video that he posted is pretty much him going to Lith Harbor to interact with Inkwell, and it's so weird. I definitely urge you to watch his full video on it, because apparently, I guess Inkwell's intern logged into his account and started spewing a bunch bunch of stuff about how the team needs more funding and things like that, which is really concerning. I really hope that was actually Inkwell's intern and not Inkwell himself saying this stuff and pretending to play it off as his intern or something, because this is really unprofessional. Like, this is just insane that you would be asking for more funding to your CEO in a way like this. You knew somebody would be recording or would be talking or posting about this, and to see that the team needs more funding for MapleStory Classic is a little bit concerning. I hope that they do get the funding that they need, because they absolutely deserve it. MapleStory Classic, especially after the second online test, I really enjoyed it a lot, and so I have a lot of faith in their Classic Reimagined project. I think this is going to be really something special that may be more popular even than modern MapleStory. But my point in mentioning this was that during this whole Q&A session, because I think eventually Inkwell did take over, I don't think it was his intern talking the entire time, but they were pretty much asking him, like, on a scale between 1 to 10, how quickly or how soon do you think we'll be seeing release? And Inkwell responded with 11. He thinks that the game is going to be coming out very, very soon, sooner than a lot of people are expecting. And for that reason, I feel like this game is going to be coming out in September. And at the very latest, like I said, it may be sometime in October, because they could be reserving some sort of announcement or release date or whatever during MapleFest, just to kind of give them more stuff to kind of talk about and release and reveal during that whole thing, which I really hope is not the case. I think they should ride on this MapleStory hype that is going on right now, and since they've announced it, I think they've missed out on a lot of opportunities to get the game more hyped up, and the longer that this takes, the more that the hype is going to die down. So I really think it's smart for them to just straight up release it as soon as possible. And so that's why I think that coming in September, MapleStory Classic will be releasing. But what do you guys think? Do you think it'll be releasing next month or October or sometime this year, or maybe even next year? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Like this video if you enjoyed it and you want to see more MapleStory content from me, and make sure to subscribe so all that stuff shows up in your sub feed, and I'll see you guys later.